Good evening, everyone. I hope you've all recovered after this evening. And literally just 2 minutes before going live, the Wissa deal has just been made official, and Alexander Isak has also been made official. Fordy, how are you? How's the whole day been? You on mute, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I was just saying, it's been busy, man. Just trying to keep up with transfer deadline day in its entirety, man. The ins and outs and doing other work bits as well. But yeah, man, it's been a good window as it goes. I'm not sure we'll get into it in a bit, but it's been a good window overall, I think.
Yeah, we are going to look at that as well. Josh, how are you? Are you feeling better?
A bit better. I'm sure you can hear it in the voice a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely been interesting. We kind of had the equivalent of a bank holiday, as you guys would call it, this today. So it was kind of ironic just being able to sit here and watch all the madness just across the league. Really, lots of deals.
We're going to have a game of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire later because Josh has got a bit of a cough. So that's a British thing for you, Josh. You have to research that later. It was headline news many years ago. Me and Fordy will know what that's about. Let's get straight to it then. The club have put a massive, huge statement out, if you haven't seen it. It's huge. Look at the size of this statement that the club have put out, Fordy. Breathtaking, isn't it? Got mute again, Fordy.
I love it. My club, that's what is needed, really. He's done that to himself. He's ruined his legacy. And that's also all we needed, really. Like, he's gone for a fee. He played for us once upon a time, made a couple of appearances, or more than a couple of appearances. And that's it. That's what he deserves. And good riddance to bad rubbish, little rat.
Yeah, we'll come to that in a second. I'll read it out for the audio listeners. It is Newcastle in capitals. Newcastle United sell Alexander Isak for a British record fee, and there's literally just 2 sentences. Newcastle United can announce the sale of striker Alexander Isak to Liverpool for a significant British record transfer fee. The Swedish international joined the Magpies from Real Sociedad in 2022 and made 109 appearances in all competitions. And then in capitals, ends. Wow. Josh, what's your reaction to that statement?
I think it's more than he deserves written about him. I mean, I think it was your video earlier or someone's video I was watching, all the content, and they said, how he's tarnished his legacy. And to me, there's zero legacy now. Like, I forget who scored that second goal in the Carabao Cup. It's just weirdly been erased from my brain. But yeah, to me, he's listen, before people kind of make fun of us, the trolls or whatever, I think we can all agree, had we can understand the ambition and wanting to move on. I think it's cliche and been beaten to death, but it's how he's done it. It's how he's shown zero respect to us, the fans, and the city. That is what just makes it so painful. I told a lot of my friends at the beginning of the summer who just watched the Premier League. One of them's a Man U fan, one of them's a Liverpool fan and stuff. I said, I'm totally at peace that we're going to sell him next summer. This was before all the chaos begun. I said, I think he owes us one more year. And then, listen, I would get it.
Yeah, I feel amazing, he says. It's been a long journey to get here. I'm just happy it's done and then I can get back to work. I'm a striker, but always want to give as much as possible for the team.
What a little rat.
Nothing.
What a rat.
I don't know if he said anything else. We're not going to play that. But I wonder if he said anything on Newcastle. But there he is.
He's smiling in that one. Oh, I always remember the photo when he signed a new extension. He's flipping miserable as out. Maybe we should have learned from that.
Yeah. Let's have a look at. I don't think Newcastle have put anything else out about Wissa. As far as I can see, nothing on Wissa. That will come, I would imagine, later the night. But so it is official that Alexander Isak has departed Newcastle United. We can see us in the live chat. We are going to bring that up very in a moment. But Fordy's got a little QR code right next to him because we are sponsored by Saley. What is Saley? It is an eSIM. So if you're planning to go abroad anytime soon, especially with the Champions League nights, Josh has already looked at this because he's planning to go to Brussels, I believe. So he's already looking at this. So all you do is you download it onto your phone. You let it take over your current SIM. It stopped you getting charged a ridiculous amount of data whilst you're abroad. You have 24-hour support. If it's not compatible with your phone, you can get a refund. Majority of it is. You can avoid anything like scams. You can save time. You just literally download it. My mum's in Gran Canaria. She's just about to come back actually tomorrow. She's loved it using this. Download it once. You can download the Saley sim. If you go to the checkout, it's literally in the checkout. You put Newcastle fans. Don't put the TV bit, just Newcastle fans. And then whatever offer they have available, you'll have another 15% on top. So they're from the creators of NordVPN, who obviously sponsored us in the past with being protected online. And there's a little bit info there that you can have over 200 destinations. So you'll always have a connection when needed. I'll be using these for the Champions League as well. And that gives you a little bit more information on how to download it. It's pretty simple, to be honest with you. You download it on your phone with the link. There's in the description. You can scan the QR code, which you'll see next to 40 on the show. So yeah, have a look at Saley, our sponsors this evening. Live chat. Let's have a little look. Ricardo is definitely a striker. I like what he did there. Pest control have been called to Liverpool due to Rat, who has appeared. And Lee's gone on to say, I think this transfer window shows us that the players that act respectfully will unlikely get their moves gay. I feel for Mark Gahey because he's the one for me. That's him and Strand Larson being proper gentlemen about it. You're right. He would be a Newcastle player if it wasn't because of this. Get back to work. No one is stopping you apart from you. Obviously, that's throwing at Isak. And Jess is putting a link in for us, I think. I think that might be right. Josh, what's your thoughts about the whole saga with Isak now that it's done? Is it a monkey off the back?
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, normally I try to like stick to my opinion, like whatever your first gut feeling is, I try to measure myself against that and hold true. But the Isak one is truly unique in that there were so many layers to it as things went on that you kind of almost had to adapt because my only concern is, and just playing a hypothetical, I'm curious your guys' thoughts. I would hope and don't think that he would do this, but let's just say we don't make Champions League this season and Tonali's ready to move on at the end of the season. Does this set the blueprint for stars to get out? And kind of like that comment said, I think it's a little, it does set a bad precedent almost in just the whole ethos that the Isak and the Wissa, who have kind of act poorly, they got their moves, but the professional ones didn't. And if anything, I would have rather seen it the other way because my feeling was I kind of wanted to let Isak rot just till January because I was hoping that not only the main reason being, yes, we would lose a little bit of value, but I was hoping more people would be in for him and we maybe wouldn't be held ransom just to sell to Liverpool. Maybe a PSG was then interested. Maybe Barca has an injury, and Barca would have been one of those because I would have much rather sold him away and not have to look at him week in and week out.
And it's a way you do about it. We'll play in next year summer. Let's just say we finish 7th, 6th, whatever, 40. Is it the way you conduct yourself about it?
Man. Yeah, because, of course it is, man. The way you'll forever be remembered like for doing this, despite scoring the winning goal, albeit in the Carabao Cup final, and going down as a Carabao Cup winner for Newcastle United.
Legend.
Yeah, I think we throw around the legend word.
Well, the thing is like
for me, I don't like throwing around the legend word too flippantly. Like I think we do it too much this generation anyway. But yeah, it's the way you do it. It's the way you go about it. And the way he's not even thanked the fans. Yeah, to be honest, even if he did, I don't think most of us would take it on board anyway. But the way he's gone about things is just completely wrong. And I said to Liverpool fans, and I'll say it again, be careful because he'll do it to you in 2 years' time. Do you know what I mean? When Real Madrid come knocking, and he'll probably continue on this hot streak of form, they'll come knocking, he'll do the same thing to them as well. So, look, he's not our problem anymore. He's their problem now. We've got our own number 9 now. We've got another striker in Walter Made. I'm really looking forward to seeing as well. So, overall, I'd rather just forget about it, if I'm being honest. I know we've got to talk about it, but I just want to forget about him now. And it's just when he comes to Anfield, Joe Linton puts a 2 foot in on him, and that's it.
Yeah, I think it's closure. I think that's what we're getting. Obviously, it's been going on for the last 5-6 weeks. The whole when he didn't want to go to Singapore, and then the whole debacle that's carried on. It's been the story, unfortunately, of the window, and I think the door's closed now. Yes, it'll be a little bit hurtful that he scores 1 or 2 goals for Liverpool, but do you know what? When some and the reason why I asked you about inverted commas a legend, because we'll always remember winning the trophy and we'll always have great memories of it. But in 5 year time, 10 year time, you get stopped on the street. Oh, what's your thought about Isak? That's not going to go to your mind straight away. Winning the cup, it's going to think fucking rat
Yeah.
or twat or cunt or well, you know that's going to come out first before you then say, "Hey, he scored the goal in the Carabao Cup, but he's still a cunt or he's still a twat," or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So that's going to come to mind. And if we're being hypocritical, has Yoane Wissa done the same, Josh? Not to the extent, but we were talking off air just before we went live, and you don't feel that comfortable about it, do you?
No, I don't. I mean, listen, and again, I realize we're skirting the fence of hypocritical because Isak said his statements, and a lot of us, our first reaction was, sure you did, or sure that's what really happened. And Vissa has said his statement, which allegedly he does have it in writing. Now, I do think there is some nuance to it. As you said, I think he didn't quite go as extreme, but I think I have two facets to it that I don't like. The first is his behavior. The second is I think it's an overpay given his age. And I don't think we're very likely to get that money back. Now, if we remove all of that factor, I think it is the proper decision to help give the runway for Voltamata to develop. Because as I was mentioned to you, the main 2 leagues I watch is Premier League and Bundesliga. Ironically, Stuttgart is my Bundesliga team. So I've been watching Voltamata for the last 12 months, and he's a very solid player. There's a lot of things that remind me of Isak in that rawness. I'm not saying that he's going to reach those levels or anything like that. Only the world will, we can only wait and see what will happen there. But I think he's got the raw tools and the profile to have success at our club. You can tell he's kind of a good egg. I loved his interview of, I joked he's definitely a mama's boy. He picked his number because it's his mom's birthday in that little club statement. But listen, hopefully that's a sign that he's a good egg. And I think when you look at it from a footballing decision and take away price tags, I think it's a perfect decision because you have a quote unquote proven player to give Voltamata the runway to develop. And that's what Voltamata had last year at Stuttgart. They had bought Demirovic, who in the Bundesliga was a proven striker. They also had Dennis Undav, who some of you guys may remember from Brighton, who I highly rate, and I would have liked to see Dennis Undav, but he's more of a 10. But anyways, they had those guys all kind of rotating in the striker role, and it wasn't until Voltamata was consistently proving himself in performances that he then took the reins.
See, with going, I will come to Voltamad a little bit later when we look at the squad and stuff, because we are going to look at that and look at the whole window in general, ins and outs. But Fordy, the whole Vissas thing, he turns 29 in literally a couple of days' time. As Josh has said, there isn't really a sell-on value. There is rumours that Brentford have a 25% sell-on clause. I don't know how much of that is actually true. That's been reported. And it's also reported that we haven't paid the full amount up front. It's half today and half in 12 months' time. But regardless, that fee, it is overhyped. I think we have paid. In fact, I know we have overpaid probably 15 million more than probably what his value is because of his age, his contract. But the matter of the fact is, 40, we got a little bit desperate and we had to get a striker in.
Yeah, we got desperate and it got to the end of the window. We never seemed to do business like good business before the end of the window. Do you know what I mean? It's always deadline day for us, whether it be the other way or coming in sort of thing. But end of the day now, out of all the strikers that we've been linked with, it's probably the one that makes sense. Like he scored, was it 19 goals last season?
Yeah.
No penalties. So again, he
More
definitely...
than Isak in open play.
Exactly. So again, out of all the strikers that we've been linked with, including the ones that rejected us, that one actually made the most amount of sense. And I'm not just saying it because he's here now. Like, I like João Pedro, I like Liam Delap, but obviously he's injured now. Sesko's stinking up the place now. So again, looks like we dodged one there. Who else was linked? There's a whole bunch of other strikers linked with us. Ekatike. Okay, Ekatike was good, but you know, it
I bet
was,
he's kicking himself right now.
yeah, exactly. Now he's got.
That's what I said earlier
I'm
this
saying.
afternoon.
Say
Imagine.
TK can be put in the James Trafford bracket of like, oh, I've jumped the gun too soon now because it looks like you're both going to be riding the bench for a while. But with Wissa, at least we know what we're getting with Wissa. He scored, like I said, 19 goals in not a struggling Brentford team, but a mid-table Brentford team that's been blatantly just asset stripped now, including their manager. So we've done good business, albeit yes, we might have overpaid a little bit, but it's going to come anyway. Like I said to you in the last stream, Lee, like
Yeah.
people know we've got money. It's no secret, especially when we're getting 130 million thrown into us as well. So of course they're going to fleece us. So if we have to pay an extra 15 million pounds to get a striker in, that's going to help our season and help us challenge on all fronts, or at least do well on all fronts, then so be it, man. End of the day now, we've got our two strikers in. We've done well across the whole window now. And I think we've actually upgraded. If we take everything into
Oh,
consideration, we've upgraded, including losing Isak. I'm gutted to lose Isak, but at the same time, like Josh said, Voltemade is Messi in the making, potentially. I'm just paraphrasing there, Josh.
Wow. I'll clip that up.
Hey, you can clip that out. Take
hey,
it.
they call him Volta Messi.
There you go. See, again, I must be talking sense. But overall, like
Are
all
you
the
still
time,
feeling Harry is a positive?
yeah, listen, I am positive, man. I am positive. People, Newcastle fans in the chat, be positive. Look at all. Let's go, player for player. Like I know we probably get into it, but let's do it now. Ramsdale over Dubravka, good signing. Chow over Lloyd Kelly, good signing. Alanga over Almiron. Thank God Almiron's
Oh,
gone.
you loved Miggy down the years. Remember them videos down the
Almiron,
years?
thank God he's gone. But
Him
Alanga,
and John Joe Shelby, bless them.
yeah. Alanga in the last game though, he couldn't
Whoa, whoa,
find the
whoa!
cross
Don't
in
be
the
talking garbage on Shelby. That was my first kid. I mean, that was my
good
boy.
for you.
You need to watch some of the old historic NFTV videos. It's
No,
yeah.
I remember the old 40 days because I remember when I first started watching, I was like, man, this guy is.
But you know what the funny thing was? He would criticize him, and then he would have a worldie on the next game.
Yeah, but you don't remember the stinkers that he had. Everyone remembers that bit.
Oh no!
Anyway,
Listen, he definitely had stinkers.
he definitely had stinkers, bro.
He definitely did. There's no argument about it.
Yeah. But
No.
yeah, overall
Well,
the signings have been really good. Like, and the other one is obviously Longstaff and Jacob Ramsey. I think we've upgraded with that one as well. So overall, it's been a good window. Be positive, you know.
I think you're right. I think it has been.
Yeah.
For me,
One quick thing on the Wissa thing, sorry, and I'll let you go, Lee, is I think if hypothetically he didn't do all that stuff, we would all be over the moon with him. You know, again, his on the field, everything speaks for itself. And as Forty just said there, the sum of its parts we've improved.
I think with Jorgen Strand Larsen, I think his time might come again. With might not be us, it might be another club.
Yeah.
If you had to pick between the two, even though Vissa's older, I would go for Wissa because I don't want similar kind of structure. I know Voltemade is different type where Larsen needs service, but and again, Larsen's conducted himself really well. Come off the bench, scored a couple of goals in midweek for Wolves, and that's the way to do it. But if it comes down to both of them, we've had to pay over the top for Larsen anyways, so it would have been up to 60 million for him, and the Wolves have just signed him. So if over those two, I would have Wissa, even though Larsen's got a sell-on value where Wissa hasn't, but Wissa can play anywhere across the front three. He's desperate to play. I want to talk about just briefly, then we'll actually, do you know what? I'll go to the live chat because I want to talk about Osula before we start looking at the squad in general. So let's pull that open. Drop us a like, everybody. That would be wonderful. Who have we got, lads? Well, we'll go for that. I don't know if that's the real Paul Gallant or it's someone pretending to be Paul Gallant. We have big depth now. There's Joe Kenja. Joe, you'll see a lot of Joe, put it that way, in the next 24 hours all over the socials.
Big up, Joe.
Yeah, and 36, 168 to come. Yeah, smash that like. It's free. Yes, please do hit that like. Have improved our squad, but don't think it's improved the starting 11, to be honest. I think we needed the squad improved more, probably. Geordie, boy, old school. If he said he wanted to go last season, then why go on tour Austria? Why didn't he refuse to go on tour there? And he's talking shit. He's just had his head turned. Shelby's championship year was a thing of the beauty. No John Joe slander. Big up 40 Lane Josh, my dudes. Isak going to Madrid in 2 years. It's the only Paul gallantly. Mulliner said the same thing about Isak did. The whole team won a trophy. How come Vissa's deal not announced yet, Shanna? It is. It has been not officially by the club, but all the journals have said it's done. And there is a picture of him wearing, holding up. Has it been made official yet?
Nah, but he's the same picture that you're talking about.
Right, holding it up. Yeah, he's holding number 9 up. Do we have money left for January? I think so, Matt. We'll come to that in a minute. I have a total spend coming up. Come on, guys, isn't that prepared for streams? You'll have all the graphics coming up shortly. Would like another holder midfielder, but it's a good window. Jess, I don't know what that link is, what you're sharing in there. I don't know what that is. But yeah, when United sack Amarin, do you think Howe's favourite to take over? No.
Easy. Who said that?
No, 10 medieval. 10 Hog's just been sacked today as well, hasn't he?
He's had a
I've seen that, yeah. Can you let me on? Jordan, this is a closed show tonight, so unfortunately we're not inviting guests on, but we will keep coming back to your comments as well. So Will Osula, because Wissa had signed, he would have went in the African Cup of Nations, which would have left us a little bit short, because he would have missed it, because he's missing 2 Champions League games, the start of the FA Cup, if he's still in the League Cup, 2 semi-finals, Premier League games, I think, were 3 in January. That's quite a big chunk of games. But the bid come in, and it was very tempting. I was so 50-50.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I got very excited, and I think I jumped the gun on that. I started making videos already about it. It is what it is. Because when I see 30 million for Will Osula, and it just after we just announced that we're going to sign Wissa for 55, I was like, let me do my, you know how when every fan does their maths, I'm like, actually, we've only really spent like 20 million on it. That makes me feel better. Do you know what I mean?
But it's more, it would have doubled the, well, I think it's 28.5, but I mean, we're not far off 30, isn't it? But doubling the value of Will Osula, and you're looking at it, and the club must have really, because it was delayed for a good few hours. But the question is, Josh, and I'll come to you on this one, is he ever going to make it in Newcastle? Is your first answer, one of you. And the second one for cover, I've just mentioned there, but also he's cover for right wing. So if an injury happens to Murphy or Lalanga, you could always put Osula on right wing for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. So what would you do in the second answer?
So the first one, I think your question, I would have sold him. To me, I don't. We all love him to death. I think that sentence has been beaten to death. We all love him, and we want nothing but success for him. But I just don't think it's there. I don't think it's going to click with us. You know, you look at the standard Howe recipe, give him a year, and they almost look like a new player. I think Osula looks just as close as he did as appearances a year ago. I think there's something there, and maybe at another club that could be extracted. But to me, I think you're more likely going to think we made a hell of a deal on 30 million than look back and regret it because he explodes. And even if he did, I still think the profit you make allows you to sleep at night. And because moving on to your second question, kind of about the backup, I hear you, but at this moment in time, the general consensus, I would say, even in the fan base, is he's not even suitable to really be an option. So if he's not even really an option today, then why not use Sean Neve? Why not use? Obviously, we can't do Sanusi now; he's on loan. But if you go to your third option, then use a youth guy. Like, I'm sorry, we're not at the stage where we can have 3 like plug and play players at every position. It would be nice, but we're not there yet. So I think it would have been better to cash in, because I know you'll bring up a graphic later with a spend, but doing loose math, I think we've almost would have broken even to what we've bought and sold if we had sold him on top of the Isak deal. And then the other thing for January is, when you lose Wissa for AFCON, in January, I think we're going to look for another striker potentially, or we could have. And that was one of my big things is, again, hold on to Isak, because not only will we have more options on who we can buy and not be forced to make an impulse buy or overpay, but we're not forced to sell to someone we maybe didn't.
And
I think right we're looking like maybe one of the strongest people to have money to splash come January.
And I think if Gordon was fit on the weekend, he would have started, even though Osula came off the bench and scored. So let's take a look at, these are estimated, don't take these with gospels. These are estimated figures that Newcastle have spent this summer. These include add-ons, so estimated figures of add-ons, 261.4 million. We brought Ramsdale for a 4 million loan, the Chow deal 34.3 million, Ramsey 44, Alanga 55, Park was very cheap, 0.16. Voltamaris up to 69 million with the add-ons, and Wissa 55. Whether that's all paid up front or spread over a year or two, who knows? Is there any bargains in there, 40?
It's kind of hard to judge right now, man. I think
Ramsdale, mate, if he gets in.
Possibly. I still think 40 odd million for a midfield is quite steep, but we'll see. Look, we've got to give everyone time. Got to give players time to bed in. I think
Chow might be a bargain. Long run.
in the long run, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Probably one of the most, because I just want to see how he fits in with the back line, because I think our back line now could be sorted potentially for the next 3 to 4 years at least, unless everyone gets itchy feet now and starts doing a knees out. But potentially we could have Livramento one side once Trippier moves on, and Lewis Hall the other side. Chow and Botman, hopefully they can form a nice little partnership together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Alanga one, I hope that one comes good, because I was about to say on the weekend he looked like he couldn't find a cross in a church, man. Like it just wasn't working out. But I think
He had a bad start, hadn't he?
Yeah, he had a bad start, but again, I'm just looking forward to these partnerships. Chow and then Voltamade and Wissa, seeing how they can gel together. That would be the new. I see on Twitter like they're doing like the Peter Crouch and Jermaine Defoe sort of link up. That might be our version of that. So yeah, looking forward to that.
You're excited about Voltamade, aren't you? And he seems a bit of a character as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I like that. I like his energy. He's got a bit of personality about him. I think we're going to take to him a lot.
He has charisma.
Kind of got that kind of Bruno-esque sort of like, I can see him like fist pumping and getting and geeing everyone up sort of vibe. So yeah,
Vesta just announced.
Yeah,
that was officially announced, is he?
Yeah, that's what King of the Tyne said in the chat. Hopefully, he's not pranking us.
Yeah, he has.
Newcastle have done the silhouette thing again with him. There he is. Well,
yeah, we'll go to share screen for anyone who can't see that. So I wonder who that is. So the club have now officially announced it. The journals put that out about 25 minutes or so ago. So there you go. Welcome to Newcastle. He drove through the night. He's done a Lola. He has. He's drove all the way from London, all the way through up in Newcastle. A few people will laugh and say,
that is dedication.
Does he have a co-pilot like you too? Does he have a little Frenchie?
No, but I wonder what people were joking on, like which services he stopped to, and people were guessing it would be Wetherby and all this sort of stuff, which I was actually today.
That is dedication, mate, because I've done that journey many a time. And to drive from London to Newcastle, knowing he's a Premier League footballer and he could easily got the train, plane, or whatever. You know what I mean? He's dedicated. He wants to be here, and that's what we want. I know his conduct's not been the best, but if you want to drive to your club like that, like the modern day Peter Odemwingie, then
I was about to say we could have had that situation on our hands if it wasn't done.
Yeah.
Where's he been all day?
But I think Brentford, similar to us, they want to cash in. Do you know what I mean? We wanted to cash in on these.
They've got great money
on them, so they've done well.
They've got great money, but you worry about Brentford now.
I ain't worried about them.
You just want them to stay up because they're local to you.
I don't really care no more.
Wait, I was gonna say 40. Like you're relative. I wasn't sure what part of London, but like
he supports 3 teams in London, man.
But like, what are the Brentford fans saying?
Brentford and Arsenal.
Okay, here we go.
So are the Brentford fans kind of like us? Like, is he dead to them? Is that what you're hearing?
What's that? Wissa? I don't even know.
Wissa to the Brentford. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were kind of hearing things on the street or co-workers.
No, don't listen to Lee. I'm not that into Brentford.
Okay. No, I know you're not, but still, I wasn't sure if you had mates that might be Brentford fans or things like that.
To be honest, I think Brentford's fan base is no. That's not being disrespectful or anything. Their level, they don't have. Of course. They don't. It'll be like
historically, this is their pinnacle of their their team, and that's no disrespect. It's just practical.
Yeah. So there's the money. I think obviously the record by Voldemada is the highest one at 65, and I think there's 4 million add-ons, and obviously that's who a lot of everyone's excited about to see what he brings, especially Josh from obviously watching a lot of Stuttgart. Let's have a look at what you see in the live chat, and that what we'll do is we'll have a look at the players who have left as well. Isak, how does everyone feel about the Isak situation? Well, I think we're all good riddance. When Andy Carroll's basically sent Liverpool, I was furious, but this Isak situation makes me feel sick. I would usually wish him the best of luck, but no way he's conducted himself. Woohoo, dream come through. What a player. Got you, Jules. Smash the like. I think with Andy Carroll, though, I don't think Andy Carroll actually wanted to go. It was more forced on him. Joe Ken's very excited for Volts 240. He's going to be a boyo. I may as well. Shall I? Joe will be on the overlap. There you go. There's the breaking news for everyone. You'll see Joe all over the overlap in the next 24 hours. And of course, he'll be on next week's show as well. So stay tuned.
Joe's big time now, man. Overlap.
This is what happens when you join NFTV.
Jesus.
You know? That's what happens.
I'll be like Joe when I grow up. Flipping hell.
I'm waiting for Joe just to dump me and leave me just to run the channel with Josh. You know what I mean?
Hey.
He's stuck with me, Joe, and but yeah, you'll be on the overlaps. So talking about all the whole transfers and stuff as well. I've just seen a couple of comments come through, so apologies. I'll just quickly read them out before I move on. Will I? Eyes. Hello, Chairs. Hope you're doing all right. Me and Jamie go way back. Do you? You and Jamie Carragher. So players who have left. Okie dokie then. Again, these are just estimates, everybody, with add-ons including. There is this asterisk next to a couple of the players have gone out on loan because we are still contributing to their player wage. So Dubravka's estimated up to 5 million. When I looked at that just before going live, I thought 5 million, I thought it's higher than what I've seen. And Dubravka, obviously, if Vlacho Diamos has had out on loan, we're paying all the wages, I believe, for that, because Sevilla can't afford the wages. Obviously, Aiden Harris has gone out on loan, Cordero's gone out on loan, Matt Targett's gone out on loan. Effectively, Matt Targett's left the club, really, because he's only got 1 year left on the deal, unless the club trigger another 1 year, similar to what they did to Dubravka. Of course, you've got Jamal Lewis, who's left on the free. Lloyd Kelly, as already mentioned earlier, I've got the money in for him. Joe White had it out on loan. Best pal, Isaac Hayden, it's gone mutual consent. We'll probably have to pay him off a little bit. Sanusi's gone on a free loan. Kowal is up to 500,000. Wilson on a free. And of course, Isak, 130 million estimated. So Newcastle have sold roughly about 170. So really, if we look at the two graphics, that's something like what? You're talking about 70, 80 million we've paid roughly. This in net, minus. So looking at those, is there any 140 that stands out that you think, God, I wish I kept him?
Nah, not really.
Have we sold? Because we've been criticised for not selling well. Have we sold well? Longstaff, obviously, I forgot to mention, read him out.
Who's that, Longstaff?
Yeah, he's on the graphic, but I didn't read him out.
Yeah. No, I think we've sold well enough, albeit considering we needed to get... Look, the reality is we needed to get rid of one of our big hitters in order to keep the money flowing as PSR, FFP, and all these other little acronyms and stuff like that. So if it was Isak, it's Isak, man, and he's made his bed. He's now got a lie in it. The rest of them, you know, I think the only other one I probably might have sold is Lascelles, but you know, he's there for another year. He's not doing anyone any damage, but at the same time, he's probably the next one to go that we can get some sort of value for, especially now we've brought in Chow and he's probably got Kraft and obviously Share ahead of him. But overall, we've had a really good winner. This is what I keep saying. Like, I think, you know, with the Isak situation, that might mar it. But if you go like for like, we've upgraded on every single player that we've let out the door in the last, 12, 18 months.
Same question back to you, Josh. If you look at those players, well, obviously Dubravka could have went on a free, got him on an extension, got a bit of money in for him. Lloyd Kelly, fantastic. I know Paul Mitchell's being criticised, but that's probably one of the things he's actually done well there. Longstaff, obviously, we've got a bit of money on him because that PSR, with being a club-trained player, again, that's full profit. You can spread that. And obviously, Isak, 130 million. So we've been criticised down the years by the media, by TV, that we haven't sold well. Have we sold well?
Yeah, I would say so. The only one on that list that I would say maybe slightly undervalued is Longstaff, just because I feel like I see so many British or English homegrown players that for some reason it just seems to be like an extra 5 million. So I kind of would have liked to maybe see closer to the 20, but at the end of the day, I think the overall moral of the story is we finally started trimming the fat, and which we certainly needed to do. And at sometimes, those were some of the things that were being levied against Howe was allegedly blocking these things or whatever. We'll never know if that was why it was or wasn't, for sure. But I think we sold well. And the one silver lining, I think we've kind of talked about it, removing all the things we've said from Isak aside, I think that first big sale that eventually needed to come at some point has now happened. And I think by selling him, I do think that opens the door to kind of phase two from the buy plan, because I think that almost resets our PSR as a whole by how much we've made off of him. But overall, I'm pleased. Like I said, if you ignore the Isak situation and said at the beginning of the summer, we were going to improve on Dubravka, which I think Ramsdale is nothing against Dubravka. Great
Is he?
servant.
I'm going to play devil's advocate with you all. We'll go through them because I like to play bad cop, good cop. If Pope's keeping Ramsdale out currently, but you might get in. Is he an upgrade? Is that just because we're clever for PSR reason that we got him on a contract, we sold him?
Real quickly, because I do have to hop. To answer yours kind of in a nutshell, I personally think all the acquirers are an upgrade. The only one with the performances so far, I am starting to get a little nervous about Alanga, but at the same time, I think we need to give it time. Very few players that we've acquired have come in and immediately hit the ground running. I think Trippier is the only exception to that I can think of since the takeover, of someone who's come in and right out the gates instantly made the starting 11 better. I think Alanga will come good, but it has been a little bit disappointing, some of the initial returns. But at least it gives us an option if Murphy's not on it. Where back in last season, we had no option. So I'd at least happy that we have an option. But looking forward to see you guys soon. Thanks for having me.
Right, Josh, we'll love you and leave you. So we'll switch the format.
Cheers.
Have a good night, mate.
Take it easy, 40.
Take care, mate.
Okie dokie. You look at that by magic. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful transition. Same question to you then, 40. And you look at the squad depth, the quality is better if you go through it. Ramsdale for Dubravka, maybe long run, but I get why the club done the Dubravka deal. You look at Malik Chow. Chow's the one that I think can then grow because Shea's still playing good football, but that's the long-term replacement for me. You might have to wait next season until he's fully in and he doesn't get out that side. Whether Fabian Schär retires or because he's got another business venture back in Switzerland, who knows? But that's the one that I think in the long run, that's where it'll be. I think Ramsey is actually an upgrade on Longstaff. Alanga is an upgrade on, I know Miggy left in January, but Jacob Murphy had no competition. So that's competition. Yes, he hasn't started well. Of course not, but I have faith that he will. Might take half a season. Look what happened to Anthony Gordon. The striker, it was always going to be a downgrade. We know that with Isak going because you take out 23 goals. However, you brought Wissa in, who is, would you say Wissa is Wilson's replacement? But you get reliability. He's available.
Yeah,
he scores goals.
That's where the balance is. If you're taking the two strikers into consideration as a duel, we've definitely upgraded because, like you said, Isak scored on the goals last season. You can't take that away from him. And Voltemade is still new to the league, so we don't know how that one's going to pan out. But if you balance it with the Wilson situation where you never know how long you're going to get out of him, comparing to Wissa, who scored 19 goals in open play last season as a pair, we've definitely upgraded. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to this. I think we might even play a different way to how we might have played last season, where we just usually played the one up top. Because
Hopefully it's not like the wing backs on a weekend.
nah, definitely not like that. That did not work at all. But I'm liking the whole little and large comparison. You know, if that might be a thing where we might play Voltamade and Vissa playing together. We've got a lot of competition to play in this season. So again, obviously, I understand if we might play the one or the two, but I'd actually like to see them as a pairing together. Do you know what I mean? We've got the wingers. You've seen in the past couple of games where we've been getting balls into the box and we've just failed to have that person in the box. Just either nod it home or just tap it home. So it might be the two of them, might be one of them. Who knows? I'm excited, bro. I really am. Like, I think this is one of the windows in a long time that I think to myself, we've actually got everyone that we've needed. We really have.
I think considering the whole Isak debacle, it would have been even more sweet if he just stayed. But how it happened, regardless.
It's happened. Look, it's done now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's done. However, you just talked about that as well. Who starts right up front against Wolves? Is it Wissa or is it Valdemare?
It's Wissa.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the reason why I agree, because he knows the Premier League better.
Of course.
Valdemare is obviously heading out in international duty.
We haven't got a win yet, and that's what we need to get. Points on the board. Voltamade will come on at some point, whether it be for Wissa or together with Wissa, depending on how the game's going. But if we're going for the win, which we obviously will be, then we have to play our number 9. That's the reason why you got a number 9 shirt and play him up top. There he is. There's our guy.
I'm surprised he's got number 9.
No, not at all.
I thought they might have just vacated that for the season.
No. Listen, he's a number 9. He's already talked about, the heritage that we've got with French African players, whether it be Papiss Cisse. Obviously, Demba Ba was 19, but he was kind of like our 9 in that sense. So that doesn't surprise me one bit. And we can't just leave it vacant. I know we've got rich history with number 9s, but we can't just leave it vacant until flipping Alan Shearer has a grandson playing for us. Like, we've got to give someone the number 9 shirt. So, of course, it makes sense for him to have it. Voltamade can be our quote-unquote number 10. I know he's not number 10, but he can play number 10. So,
yeah, Henri Sabe, 27. Philippe Albert, Stephen Taylor. Any other numbers that you can think of? 27.
Yeah, let's just keep it at more Albert and forget about Sabe. But yeah, our number 9 goal scorer machine. That's what I believe he's going to be for us. And he's got his wish. He wants to play European football. He's going to be playing European football. He's going to be loved and adored, man. I can tell he's going to want to.
Yeah, he's just the attitude. I did a video earlier on the day in the car, and I'm not happy with the pair of them. Let me switch that to 2 screen. I'm not happy with the pair of them, the attitude. But for me, he's got to prove to me off the pitch that he's not a hissy fit, and if he gets subbed off or he's on the bench for a few games because he's in a bigger club now and what have you. But interestingly, before we go to the live chat, we'll read some of your comments out and drop us a like. This is the first time you mentioned we've spent for quite a while.
Yeah.
But what's different this time is we've got that Isak money as well to play with if it comes to... If I take you back 12 months ago, we didn't spend for 3 windows. But say January, or we'll say the following summer, we'll have that money and the Champions League money to come. So even next summer, we should, touch wood, be able to spend again, despite spending a lot. I say a lot, but you look at the net profit, it's not actually that much deficit.
Yeah. I think our next signings will be that investment signings, like an Osula type signing, just so we can plan for the future, because I think that's what we need to do next. Not every signing that comes through the door is going to be first team. We need to start planning for, similar to like how Chelsea do and Tottenham, not Tottenham, maybe more like Arsenal, where they kind of buy players to then sell them on, like we did with Lloyd Kelly. Who would have thought Lloyd Kelly's done us a favour? Lloyd Kelly, and it could have been Osula, or those sort of type of signings that kind of be in and around the first team, but are expendable to go when we need them. We're not always going to pluck out an Isak or a Bruno every single signing. So, yeah, we're in a good space, man. Good space on the pitch. And hopefully, remember like our last stream, we can work on stuff off the pitch as well. So,
yeah, they have to. They've got to get that stadium announced. They've got to get a CEO, a sporting director. That needs fixed because we can't go into January like this. But I mean, Chelsea, as I say, they always have 40 in, 40 out every single summer, but they buy really, really well in terms of
work. It works.
You've done it down the years as well, buying youth academy and selling them on. Even the likes of Florian Lejeune, he started there, and you look at all the players that that they left and came back, like even James Trafford, and I'm trying to think of Jadon Sancho even started there. There's loads of them.
That's what we need to be more smart at. We can keep moaning about PSR and FFP and all these other things, but this is where we need to look. The game's not going to change for us. We know what we're up against now. If we want to start being smart about it and selling hotels and teams to ourselves, but we need to start making smart investments now and buying players that are on the cast that are going to be we see potential in, and then start doing that. So we're not always going to be in this situation where we need to sell straight away, because I don't want to read too much into the future, but it's going to come a time when Bruno wants to move on or Tonali wants to move on, and we're going to have to get top dollar for him. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully we won't have to do it too soon, and we can grow with these players and take us to the next level where we're consistent in the Champions League, because that's what we really need to maintain now. Consistency in Europe and consistency in that top six.
Interesting. Let's have a look at what he's saying. We might also have better options in time this year. It seems like everyone is trying to rebuild. That's right, 40, says Nathan. No Isak, no party. Agree, 40, well said. We need investment signings moving forward. We have lots of time now. And Nathan's going to say, I'm sure I saw Florian Lejeune playing for Valladolid against Barca last night. Yeah, a stadium expansion would be possible. Prefer a totally new stadium. I wouldn't. I would like St James's extended, personally, for me, because I've seen the atmosphere on Monday night. The club has released Vissa's first interview on the club app. Unlucky lads. Nah, there's nothing unlucky about it. We're happy that he's gone, mate. Director of football needed, and shares is obviously clapping Jack. Matt Lewis, who was scanning a huge, what was this? Chips last night. I zoomed in on, checked NFTV Extra. Matt was at the women's game down Bristol last night, yesterday. Yeah, expect some communications from the club about a few things this week, hopefully, because we need a few answers off the field, of course. So do keep your live chat coming in, and this could be a turning point for Newcastle. We will look back and say, thank God Isak acted up and freed so much PSR, if not Isak who. And then the big focus next summer as a centre midfielder, similar to J7, who's getting close to 30 and is missing more and more games. I wonder if we go in for Mino or Wharton. Wharton would be a great sign, but for me, next year is a goalkeeper for me. Do you know what? I would want a goalkeeper who would be... Look, do you think Ramsdale is better than Pope?
Yeah. Ramsdale can play,
like stand out.
not stand out, but he can play with his feet, and that's what Howell and
for me, it's a goalkeeper next year, next summer. Go and get a goalkeeper.
To compete, yes, but I think Ramsdale's been brought in obviously for a reason, because I think he's going to be the potential number one. I think we'll still keep on Pope for maybe another season, but I think Ramsdale will be merged into the potential number one. So I can see your point in terms of bringing in another keeper, but I don't think it's too high up on the list. I like the suggestion of Wharton. I like having another midfielder option, because I still think we're a little bit light. That's the only other area that I would have suggested maybe getting someone else in, because Miley, in my opinion, needed to go out on loan. We've got the big
that Inter Milan midfielder, won't we?
Yeah, exactly. But like, going back to my point, sorry, the big three's not going anywhere anytime soon. Fingers crossed. But I just think after that, there's a bit of a drop off. I know Ramsey's come in and he's hit the ground running. That's great, but that's only one midfielder. We need a couple more, because Willock's not the same player that we had when he was on loan.
He's vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the only That's the only thing that I could moan about a little bit. But apart from that, the window is fine to me.
Well, funny enough, you've just, as we'll bring it up, the squad depth. So I've put people in their primary positions. Obviously, some can overlap and play in a few positions. So if we look at that, obviously there's 28 players. We're expecting 3 to drop out, which are probably the 2 backup goal. Well, I say that. 25-man squad needs to be named. I'm guessing Alex Murphy, Gillespie, so that makes 26, sorry, and then Ashby probably, I would say. That'll miss out. But you look at that depth now, obviously left-back looks vulnerable. It's not, because you've got Trippier and Livramento can play over there. You've got Krath who can do a couple of positions, of course, as well. Midfield, we've got 6 there. You've got 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers, 3 now forwards, because Osula hasn't left. Are you comfortable with that 40, looking at that graphic?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think who we missed out, maybe. Obviously, Hall is only left back, but obviously can play Burn there.
Burn, Trippier, Livramento can all fill over.
Can play there, so I get that. Midfield, like I just said before, I think it's just one body light, but we can still get by with that. Yeah, overall, yeah, I think maybe if things are not working out, obviously in January we can look into the low market or even a couple of free transfers maybe. But overall, I think we've done well.
People were saying that, just I seen a comment before and I wanted to go back to it, that we haven't improved the 11. But for me, the starting probably 11, 12, 13, even 14 players were actually high quality. It's the drop off after that.
Yes,
And I think
indeed.
that's where we suffered last season.
Yeah, that's definitely it. So when yeah, when Almiron wasn't having the best of games, who did we have to come in? Jacob Murphy. But obviously since then he's improved. Now we've got Alanga. That was a concern for me. Gordon, hopefully when he comes back from his bloody suspension, he hits the ground running. And then, like I said, it's interesting to see how the two new strikers work together as a pairing, or if it's one in, one out sort of thing. Yeah, I'm very pleased with our window, man. I'm very, very pleased.
Yeah, it looks. I think people. I think look, it's we talked about earlier on. The squad depth is better in my opinion, and I won't be too surprised if Ramsey gets in and has a bit of a run in there as well in centre midfield. That doesn't surprise me. Just talking about because I wanted to have your thoughts on the winger situation. And Drew, drop us a like as we'll come in the last 10 minutes now. The wingers, I brought this up with Leeds. What's happened to all of our wingers? I include Gordon in that. I know he's playing up front, but he's technically a winger. What's happening there? What's going on with all the wingers? Because all four have been poor.
I think it's been a case of I don't know. It's hard to. I thought Alanga should have done better in the last game. Sorry to keep digging him out, but he couldn't cross for toffee. Gordon, like I said, rush of blood to the head. He's missing out 3 games. And then the main thing is what's happened to Barnes. The drop off from Barnes from what he was doing last season. He had a little run to. He can barely get a run of games together where he's looks on fire, looks on form. I don't know if he looks unfit or he's just not trusted, or I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Jacob Murphy's fine. I don't expect too much from him. In fact, I think he over exceeded last season anyway. So, whatever we get from him is a bonus. But my main one is Barnes. I don't know what's happened to Barnes. Gordon, hopefully he can get back to form because he needs to get into this England squad for the World Cup year. And I think Alanga will come good eventually, but just needs to compose himself, especially when now he's going to have a big target man and a goal scoring machine in the box. That's what we need to work on the most. So, yeah.
When Barnes is having a stinker, he's got to come out of the team. But when Barnes is on it, he has to stay in the team. So when Barnes is on form, for me, he goes ahead of Gordon because when he's on it, he's on a rich vein of form to score goals. But
what for me, I don't know why can't our wingers interchange as well? Why can't we have? I know it's always got to be Barnes strictly on the left, Gordon strictly on the left. Why can't they intertwine and switch?
surely Alanga can do that.
That's what I thought. Initially, I'm sure Alanga's both footed, right? Am I?
Yeah, he's predominantly right, but yes, because remember that goal he scored. I think he ran from his own half towards the end of last season with Forest, and I think it was against Man U.
Yeah,
and he was on the edge of the box at the City Ground. It's the left foot, side foots it, and you've got to have the confidence to side foot it outside the box.
That's what I thought we signed him for, because that's what I want. That's what we want, interchangeable wings, because otherwise it just becomes too predictable. Okay, Gordon's on the left. Of course he's going to go inside because he doesn't usually go on his outside. Alanga's right foot. I thought that's what we wanted, interchangeable wingers, so we can cause the fullbacks more problems. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Let us know how you're feeling in the live chat. We'll come to your live chat right now. Let's have a little look at what you're saying. Barnes is a player that frustrates me, says Matt. I think he does better when he's an impact player coming on for Gordon. If he's having a world in the last 20 minutes, staying in the team when he's on form. Probably echo what we've just said. Gordon was good before the send-off. He was, but he was playing up top. But even when he was left wing, the back end of last season, he struggled, didn't he? Too early to judge Alanga. I agree, Nathan, but he has not started well. And it's a bit of a worry when a new sign is. So hopefully, after the international break, he has a kick up the arse. Jules is bored or boring. What's this about? Isak, I'm guessing. Alanga's coming to Liverpool 2026. Great, have him. We'll double the price. We'll take 112 million, please. Without Isak, I'm worried for Newcastle. I'm not worried that we're strengthened. I would have if we hadn't, mind. But not for me. What are you worried about? Because I'm not.
No, not at all. We've had a good window, guys. Just relax. Don't let this Isak hype get to you. You know what I mean? We've had a good window. We've replaced. We've done all this already. We've done like for like. It's fine. We're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Top
and
ending.
do you think, as we'll wrap up, not Langa because I've got Langa in the brain. Langa would be a great placement for Salah. Hey, come and bid for him. Hey,
Hey, we'll do a swap deal now, yeah?
yeah, we'll put the deal sheet in if we're going to go back in time.
Yeah.
Our Liverpool fan says Jules, he's not
Okay.
happy. Yeah, we always get them. The online fans will be polite and call them that. Barnes looks slow. We're stronger than now before the window. Wednesday next live, lads. Probably tomorrow or the day after. I am down Huddersfield tomorrow covering the under 21s. So I'm going down to their stadium covering them. So actually it won't be tomorrow. It might be during the day because Huddersfield's not that far to drive. Not after me drive today. That was a killer from Bristol. Wissa, last question.
Yep.
Scored 19 goals last season. Can he hit that mark again? Or is it a case of he's going to get rotated with Voldemort? Is it, what would you be happy with?
I'd be happy.
Figures for both?
I'd be happy with double figures, but I think this season, I think we need to spread the goals around the team. I think
Right.
we were very reliant on Isak last season. Obviously, he had a run of form, so you're not going to turn that down. But I think we need to start spreading the goals around the team. We need to see goals from Wissa, Voltemade, goals from our centre backs. Look, corners now, we should be as much of a threat as Arsenal are. We've got Voltemade, who's 6'6", Dan Burn, who's 6'7", or if I got that the other way around anyway. But we should be a threat at corners. So again, whoever our set piece coach is now, they've got two gifts. Do you know what I mean? Because we've got two giants. We should be aiming for them all the time. Spread the goals around the team. Both of our strikers should be in double figures anyway. That should be the standard. So Wissa at least 10 to 15. Voltemade, he's a number 10 striker. Cool. I want you in double figures still anyway. And then spread the goals around the team. Our wingers as well, cutting inside, causing problems, goals and assists. There should be, in fact, I wonder if, you know what, if their club is going to start being transparent with us, they should start putting that stuff out as well, man. Just say, look, put the expectations on the team. I want my strikers to be getting this. I want my wingers to be contributing to this. I want my defenders to contribute to this as well. And yeah, this is where we need to be getting. Like I said, for this season, we need to be aiming for top 6 and see how far we can get in the Champions League, just so we can maintain that run, because we need to be in and amongst it every single season now.
I like you. I've got one more question.
Oh gosh,
I've just thought of this. I thought that's a great question. Who's the new penalty taker at the club?
Wissa.
Do you reckon Wissa will take over? Because
Yeah.
Gordon took the ones when Isak wasn't there.
No. Look, you've taken the 9 shirt for a reason. You are number 9, man. So again, you are the main guy. Anytime we've had a number 9, they've been the main guy, right? Callum Wilson, Alan Shearer,
Joe Linton.
Who? Joe Linton. You just throw in Joe Linton, you're taking the piss. I was on a good run there, and you throw in Joe Linton. Look, that number 9, Joe Linton, is a thing of the past. We don't talk about that guy. We talk about J7. But you know what I mean? Our number 9s are the main guy. So again, it's going to be him for sure. Come on.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who takes the penalties in it because, Gordon took them when Isak wasn't there. But yeah, we'll start a wrap up. If you can drop us a massive like, that would be wonderful. We've got a QR code right next to me now. It was next to 40 earlier. Here it is. I always get this wrong. That right there. Right there. There we go. It's hard to do it in reverse camera. There. You can get yourself an extra 15% off a eSIM from us at the checkout. Newcastle fans, if you're having a holiday abroad or if you're planning a Champions League night away, you know where to get your discounts from eSIM from Saley, the creators of NordVPN. So get down on that. 40, thank you very much for coming on. What you got next?
What have I got next? Probably going to start doing more videos on our season.
More transfers, which I love.
Yeah, now that we're ratless Newcastle.
I am delighted to tell you that the transfer window is closed because I hate to keep doing speculation videos. Obviously, check out Roots TV. He hasn't mentioned that as well, where he gets millions and millions and millions of views from grassroots. So Roots TV with a Z, Roots or OTZ. Right, we shall love you and leave you as cut. It is 10:30. We'll see you very soon here on NFTV. Take care, everyone.
Bye.